You know, I just want to add something to your point. Actually, for me, I always cut the difference between the marketing and the design part, like the qualitative and quantitative approach. For me, the design part is more the qualitative, and the marketing part is the quantitative approach. And maybe if you just combine both methods, it would be the best solution. So.
Yes, but I would say there could be a question you will probably have to research, maybe in a PhD. Because I think there is not enough knowledge produced. Sorry that I have to say that. Because for me, creating a theory is a service to the community of professionals. Because this is very important. For that reason, and I think I'm a little bit jealous that they have a lot of PhD program people in service design at Politecnico in Milan. Because this is something is really missing, because there's not enough written about it. There's not because you have to. This is the statement you made is an interesting statement, but I have to verify whether it's sustainable or not.
Yeah, of course, it's just my own.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Are there other questions out there?
Would you consider marketing the art of the message, or the art of messaging?
The art of messaging.
The marketer.
Yes.
No.
Maybe.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Right.
The difference between marketing and design is clear, therefore. Correct?
Well, I think the boundaries are a bit more blurry because, first of all, the world of design, as well, I knew it when I grew up, has shifted a lot and does different things now. And also the world of marketing is kind of opening up to new methods. So I think the thinking behind both of the originality is very different. Left brain, right brain, how do you approach these things? But I think that the way marketing works today, it's kind of trying to integrate and get a lot of these methods. The problem is that there's a lot of data collected, qualitative and quantitative, but if it's not collected in the proper way, if it's not kind of utilized in the proper way, you don't really know what you're going to do with all that. So if you know where you have your answer ready before you start doing your research, that's kind of one of the things. So marketing probably is, as you say, but it has a lot of potential to kind of grow into different fields because it also grows by itself.
It just brings me to another point, which I think is very interesting also for you guys, is about the boundaries of design disciplines. That's it's kind of one of our art directors in Milan once said, putting design into disciplines is the illness of design, of the design community, right? And we invent new disciplines as they come along, and we kind of try to define them. And to be honest, it's actually quite uninteresting to do that.
I have to disagree with that because
because you can have more students in different courses.
No. It has nothing to do with it. No, because if you don't know your limitations, you are not a professional. And knowing your limitations gives you the only possibility to grow. For that reason, for me, knowing, and this is the weakness of design, that the limitations, for instance, what we call now design thinking, is useless. I think this is one of the problems when I look into the design community. Honestly, I have learned far more from the management community, which I learned from the design community. The design thinking people, actually the more radical design thinking people, I met actually in management. The problem is, for a long time, they didn't use the framework of designing in order to communicate well what they are doing. So they didn't know also the limits of management. So for me, I think, knowing the limits of that you know that the designer, you are not an expert in something else, is the first ticket in order to be a professional, serious person. So I think in reframing, that's a different issue. I think you spoke about reframing. Reframing is a method. And reframing means that I try to look from a different perspective in order to look what kind of, but it doesn't get rid of the boundaries, not fringing the edges.
What I'm talking about is that, you see, I have a bachelor in design management. I have a master's in service design. And now I'm working as an interaction designer in a company where I do design research, I do interaction design for all kinds of products, physical and digital products. And I sometimes go to my colleagues who are called visual designers and I say, you know, this font really looks stupid or this color looks really stupid. And I know my boundaries. I personally know my boundaries because I know what I can do, what I can deliver best to the process and to the project. Those boundaries are not put on me by any title, by any discipline.
I would just add something. I would also say, as a creative director, that what types of talent I look for are designers that can come to me that are strategic creatives, meaning that they can look as design researchers as well as design executors. And that's the new hybrid that exists, that must exist today.
Very interesting.
Well, knowing that you are from Frog, I studied at Hartmut Esslinger, who actually we had at the school a crisis meeting because he refused to call the bachelor, at that time it was a design diploma, product design. And he would scream and yell and said, listen, this is not product design. This is strategic design. Get the point. So, very well said.
Really hard task here because I'm in an MHMK master program, and we have to decide between design service, design management, design strategy, or user interface design. And like here we're talking about the future of design, and I want to hear a little bit more input from you guys. What's the future? Then what should I go for?
What does it feel like to you?
Huh?
What does it feel like to you?
Well, I'm listening different points of view, and it looks like they're all important.
You see, I think my experience has been, I've been studying with people, you know, they were sitting besides me for 5 years at university, and they end up being super good illustrators, right? And when I tell them about design theory or design models, they get very quickly bored. But they did the same things I did during studying design. But, you know, outside of studying design, they went and they drew a lot of pictures. When I went and read a lot of books and, you know, looked at models. So it's about what you see, where you see what makes fun to you, what really engages you, where you find your flow. That's the thing that you should go for. And it's a trial and error. As you know, that's the human condition.